Hi, how are you doing? Good afternoon. So, of course, I had started talking about something on Instagram that I'm going to go ahead and bring over here and deal with. Discretion with yourself. Right. Discretion with yourself will cause you to be able to discern others. Right. So, we are in Proverbs 2, chapter 2, verses 12 and 16. Well, 11, 12, and 16. Discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. Why? Why is this? Well, verse 12 answers that. To deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things. And then another answer I put down was 16. Verse 16. To deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger, which flattereth with her words. So, with verse 12 told me that I need to get discernment then. If I am to be delivered from the evil man, then I need to get discernment. Because this evil man is speaking what? Forward things, right? He'll tell you anything and everything. And if you are not seated and grounded in the word, then a person can tell you anything, right? Like you say, you be running to and fro, right? So you need to have discernment. You need to have discretion with yourself in order to be able to have discernment when it comes to others or things, situations. When you have discretion with yourself, how do you get discretion with yourself? You spend time with yourself, you get to know yourself, you learn yourself, you watch your patterns, your habits. You look at things that you like to do, things that, make you tick. So you look for the good stuff, right? And then you check it. Is this what it's supposed to be? Am I supposed to be drinking 50 shots? Am I supposed to be 5 minutes late to work every day? Am I supposed to have my breasts all out in front of everybody all the time? Am I supposed to be on social media half naked? Like just everything out? Right. Am I supposed to be on social media playing around on other people's accounts? Right. So discretion with yourself means you checking yourself, putting yourself in check. You have to put yourself in check. Everybody has to put themselves in check. We all go through a phase where we put ourselves in check, and it's a must. It's necessary. It has to happen. Otherwise, you won't be all over the place. You won't be doing stuff all over the place, and it's just not going to work in your favor for you. Right. Everything that you do is going to be the out of order, because you're out of order. You don't have any discretion with yourself. You allow anything to go from yourself. So when you allow anything to go from yourself, people say, oh, well, she put up with any and everything. That means then people start throwing stuff at you because they see how you treat yourself. You treat yourself like you don't care, so people who will start treating you like they don't care about you as well. And these are people who they don't care about a person anyway. Because a person who care about you is not just going, they're not going to treat you like garbage just because. A person with some sense, some morals, and some values, right? They don't just treat people like garbage, even though the person's treating themselves like garbage. I told my sons all the time, just because a girl loose, she a little hooker, that don't mean you got to take sex from her. Make that chick respect herself, even if she don't, right? Respect her and make her respect herself, even at that moment when she don't. She won't drop to her knees for you, and right. You don't have to accept none of that. No sex from no girl just because she's throwing it at you. Make her respect herself even when she is not at that moment. And I told all my sons that. I don't play that. Just because somebody throwing it, do not, especially if they throwing it, don't take it. Because you don't know who had it right before she wanted to throw it at you, right? It was in somebody else's hands before she tried to throw it at you, right? She playing hot potato with you, right? Don't accept nobody who just dropping to their knees or cracking their legs who want to do that for you, right? Make her respect herself, right? So you have to have discretion. And once you have discretion and you know what you will and will not accept in your own life, and you start sticking to that, then you have a moral compass, right? You are able to say, that's not proper, that's not cool. I already see now what's coming my way. I'm going to stop him in his tracks. I'm going to stop her in her tracks. I'm not going to believe nothing. I'm going to tell him up front. I don't even want to hear it because I already know where this is going. So you definitely have to have discernment in everything. You can't go without discernment. Discernment saves you. Discernment, right, it's that pit in your stomach, right? I mean, the pit of your stomach, that little twinge that tell you, don't go that way. That's discernment. Discernment tell you he about to lie to you. He's lying to you, right? Discernment tells you, now you see the look on her face? Right. She is not looking at you. She's looking at your husband who's standing behind you, right? And you know she is, right? You see that lusty look in her eyes, right? That's discernment. Once you know what is unacceptable morally, and you instill those values within yourself, that moral compass will be there. And then you'll be able to check people before they even get to you. Because your face and your stance and your essence and your energy will say, do not approach me. Hey, hush! Your stuff will say, do not approach me. Why are you coming my way? And that person will stop in their tracks and keep it moving. Right. Or they may approach, but straighten themselves up. Right. Because the closer a person gets to you and you're giving them that essence, trust me, they'll start backing up and they'll straighten themselves up. Right. If they don't veer off. Right. And then if this person is silly, after you done already put off your essence, then you know doggone well this is a person who you need to check as soon as they open their mouth. Right. And let them know, how can I help you? Right. Because you let them know, right, as soon as they walk to you, before they open their mouth, how can I help you? Because you know they're full of it. And what the person going to do first, and then look up at your man and not you. Right. So you know she full of crap. Right. Excuse us, we were about to leave. Right. And keep it moving. You don't have to be polite to nobody who is smiling in your man's face, in your face. Right. I don't know what's wrong with you chicks want to be polite to people who are thoroughly disrespecting you. Ain't no way in the world. I will politely disrespect you. Right. Politely disrespect you. Right. I ain't got to get loud and proud about, no, you ain't looking at my husband all in his face. No, I'm going to get, excuse me, we were heading out the door. Come on, honey. Right. And I won't even get that stank with it because then it's like I'm peeing on him and I don't have to. I know he mine. Right. If anything, he said, come on, baby. I'm about to take my wife shopping. It was nice, bye. Right. Because my husband gets stank on the chick for me. He don't play that. Right. That's why he be laughing at all these females who have actually been around him. Right. He'll mush you. He don't care. Right. And you know he will. If he didn't told you to leave him alone and you're still standing there. Right. Right. So, the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. Right. I'm going to read, that was 22, verse 20. So I'm going to read 21. Verse 21, for the upright shall dwell in the hand. Oh, excuse me. For the upright shall, because it's highlighted. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. Right. Glory be to God. Right. God's glorified body. Right. Will be in the land. They shall be perfect. Right. In God's sight, on God's earth. Right. That's where discernment, discretion and discernment leads you. It leads you to that glow from God. Right. So the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. So that's separating the wheat from the chaff and doing what? Burning up the chaff. You don't need the chaff. You harvesting the wheat. So you take the chaff and you burn it up. It's no good to you. And there's no need throwing it out, just, right, messing up your fields, because you're going to have to burn and overturn your fields anyway. Right. So It's all about discretion. This is really about discretion. Because a lot of people just don't have discretion. You tell everything and anything. I do it too, but guess what? I am a TV, social media personality, right? So there will be classes and things that I talk about. That's why I do say the things that I say. But I do need to start using a little discretion. But you know, right? It was certain situations where I just had to clap and tap, and I don't mind. I told you I will clap and tap. Yes, I will. Right, but right now I'm gonna use discretion. See, I'm checking myself. Right? You see that? That's an example of using discretion. I'm checking myself because at the end of the day, my audience is here to hear about discernment and discretion, not about personal issues within my life. Right. Right. So, or personal issues that try to enter my life. Right. Right. Don't claim anything that you don't partake in. Exactly. Don't claim nothing you didn't start. Right. These people start stuff with you, and you mind your business. Don't claim that. That's why I would say that's their issue. That's their war. That's their beef amongst themselves. I'm not paying them any attention, and I mean that. I'm not claiming that in my life. That's why I stay clean, clear, and I can go to sleep at night with no issues on my conscience, right? Because I haven't done anything, right? That is those people's issues, right? That is those people's problems, and that's those people's beef and war, if it goes right. You know? It just depends on how much a person can't stand you or hate you, right? Right. And unwarranted hate is due to what? Not having discretion, right? These people have no discretion amongst themselves. They are not tamed within themselves. Right? When a person hates and they don't even know you and they attack and bring other people to attack, it's because they're not using discretion. Right? They have not checked themselves. Their checks and balances are not being done. They are a Libra. They are unbalanced. That's why when I do the Libra read, I include people who are all unbalanced. It's not even about the sign any longer. It's about what you're doing in your life that makes you a Libra, which makes you unbalanced, right? So, discernment comes once you have learned checks and balances within yourself. Because you know what's acceptable to you, what you will allow to come from you, and what you will allow to be brought to you. Discretion, checking yourself, keeping yourself checked, rebalancing yourself if necessary, gives you that discernment you need to make it in this world, period. Because it is evil. You see it every day, all day, on Instagram, Twitter, the news, everywhere. You see it. If you follow me, you definitely see it. So, the evil man is out and the whore is out. And you have to have discernment to protect yourself from both. And that's really, truly what that is. Otherwise, you'll end up part of the dead, part of the Chad, right? Because the weak can wax old. The weak can die. I told you, you can always fall to the other side, especially when you're a new Christian, new convert. So the weak can always die and then have to be burnt with the Chad. Don't allow yourself to do that. Do not follow these YouTube cult leaders. Go to a real church, please. Go to a real church, because these people are really cult leaders. And I'm not talking about the people who have actual churches and they have a YouTube program of their church. I'm talking about these people who are sitting in their house, flipping cards, right, having, right, doing what I'm doing, but totally, right. You already know doggone well where they came from with it. I'm not justifying anything I do because I don't work in that realm, never have, never will. I use my cards for all kinds of things in different arenas. But you understand what I'm saying about listening to these YouTube spiritual gurus about God. You have a local church for that. People like me who are knowledgeable about God, it's cool, it's great. But you still go to your local church. Right? I love watching my pastor on TV, but I still went to my local church. Right. So, people, I'm not going to talk about people like me because I'm truly legit. I'm tried, true, and consistent. I'm not here to get donations or anything from anybody. I just speak And I do everything for free. And I'm highly knowledgeable with what I'm speaking. When I say protect yourself, I'm talking about just stay off of YouTube with people like that. Right. You know that these people are not legit, that just converted to Christianity. How are you teaching the Bible? Hmm? You left church. You haven't been in the church, or you only go on Easter, or you only go once a year. You go once every 4 years or so. How can you say, and I now teach the Bible? That's why I tell people to be careful, and I warn people. It's not because I want to be the only one teaching. Get out of my face. You know that's not true. But a lot of you were tricked, and you didn't check. Right. This person's telling you, don't listen to everything I say, go check for yourself. And then when you go check for yourself and then question them, they get angry with you. Right. Right. So it's like, well, am I supposed to go check the Bible for myself, or am I supposed to solely listen to you? Because when I come and ask you questions, you get angry with me for asking you what the Bible said. So this is what I'm talking about. You end up in a cult. That's why if you do watch this type of stuff, then what you need to do is also go to a local church. Right. You'll be balanced out, and then you'll notice, like, nah, I've been in a few churches now. What this person talking about on YouTube, that sound like the devil. Right. So then you know, no, I ain't. Right. Or, wow, you know, what this person's talking about. Right. Okay, well, you know, I can do both. Right. Catch her program every now and then, or his program every now and then, and go to my church. Right. Or, wow, she got a little more insight, or he got a little more insight than my pastor. Maybe I need to, you know, talk with God, pray, and see if I need to go to a different church. Because maybe now I've been totally fed by this pastor, and I may need to go to another church now to be fed by a different type of pastor, right? See, people don't understand that. Sometimes you have been fed by your pastor. Some pastors are there to teach babies. So now that you're no longer a baby, it's like, all right, right. You may need to go to a church to where it's moderate now. You're no longer in preschool. You're no longer in elementary. You're in middle school now. You're in junior high. So that pastor may be only equipped for children because that's what God wants, right? Elementary. So you may have to leave, right? But you pray and see. And God say, yeah, it's time for you to go to here. Try these two churches. See which one works well for you, right? Because sometimes, I like this church, but this lady keeps saying, I mean, I ain't in the mood for that already, right? So, yeah, this church is nice. Yeah, actually, I feel a little better here. Right. Right. Because God always gives you a choice. Right. And that's where your discernment just took place. Like, this lady keeps saying at me, I have a husband. I have sons. I'm not about to go through no drama with her. Right. So, there's levels to all kinds of devils, as it is said. Right. So, and then after you may graduate to high school and college. And now God has sent you to a university pastor. Right. Right. And there are university pastors, right? And I don't mean ones that went to divinity school. I mean ones who God has, brought the word to, like myself, right? So I'm not gonna be a pastor. I ain't gonna say what I ain't gonna be, because God always get me, right? But I don't intend to be a pastor. But I don't mind these teachings. I love doing small teachings. Always have. So this is all I have to say about this. This is Proverbs 2. We did verse 12, verse 16, verse 21, and 22. All right? Well, you have a blessed day. I don't really like when people say that, because it kind of sounds, churchy, but I don't say good luck. I believe in blessings. Everything comes from God, as far as I'm concerned, whether it be good or bad, because we have to have chastisement, right? So God do bring you the bad. You do have to practice whatever God taught you. So he do bring you some bad, right? That bow and arrow, right? You got to have a target, right? So if God give you a word and you never around people that are quote unquote bad, then how you going to ever get strong in the word? How you going to start teaching? How you going to evangelize his word, right? That's what evangelists supposed to do. How you going to evangelize his word, right? If you're never around targets, right? You can't be an arrow for God if you're never around targets, right? So he puts you around targets to speak to. Now, you have to choose to speak, though. God give you unction, he'll push you. And you be like, I don't want to talk to that person. And God like, you ain't strong enough yet. Right? Or you go talk to that person, you overdo it. God like, nah, I got to tame you. Or you go just right. Ooh, that was great. I'm going to give you some more. All right. Well, I'm going to stop that. And I gave you our lesson for today, or our teaching, our talk, whichever you choose to call it. You have an excellent afternoon.